motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened? What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo Sports Room, December 29th, 2021. Got quite a bit of things to talk about today. Carson Wentz tested positive for COVID. Will he be able to play this weekend? And can the Colts still make the playoffs if not? Also, John Madden passed away yesterday at 85. We'll talk some about the legend of John Madden. NFL changes COVID rules. We'll talk about that a little bit. Got some college bowl games today. We'll talk about the picks I gave out earlier today. But should have a pretty good day. Went the wrong way. There we go. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thanks for joining us. If you didn't join us this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for Easy Money, a sports betting show, go check that show out. We're giving out winners. My picks were 5-1 yesterday. So you can find that show on our YouTube page and also on Facebook and Twitch. Easy Money, a sports betting show. Like I said, it was on this morning at 11. It'll be on tomorrow and Friday. It'll be live again at 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then starting Monday, that show goes to 1 p.m. Eastern. Our new schedule starts Monday. I'll put some posts out as reminders as it gets closer to that day. Also, you can find GSR Gonzo Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Speaking of our new schedule, starting Monday, January 3rd, Easy Money will be at 1 p.m. Eastern. Still be Monday through Friday. Still live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Nothing changes there. Just the time change. Then GSR is still going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday like it was. Only difference with it is going to be a time change. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern now. Starting on Monday the 3rd. We'll finish this week out with our old schedule. Start the new schedule on Monday. Check out our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about our shows. Our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, get posted there. Any information about our show, they all get posted to our social media account. Check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get up to over 150 subscribers by first of the year. I think we're at 125 now. If you would hit that subscribe button, please hit that bell too. Get notifications of when we're going live so you don't miss it. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, please hit the follow and like buttons. We greatly appreciate that. All right, let's. One more thing. Don't forget tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live, GWR Live with pro wrestler Gavin Alexander. Come join us tonight at 7:30. We were supposed to have it last night. We had some technical issues on our end, so we got that resolved. So we'll be on tonight at 7:30 p.m. with him or with Gavin Alexander. So make sure you tune into that. And then one last thing, big shout out to Gonzo the Great. He just purchased a couple of T-shirts from our merch store. We appreciate that. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We got T-shirts, hats, beanies, hoodies, a lot of different things on there. So go check those out. All right, let's talk. First thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about Carson Wentz testing positive. Carson Wentz tested positive for COVID. Yesterday they put him on the COVID list. So I'm assuming that he tested positive. He was either tested positive or was a close contact. I'm pretty sure I saw that he had tested positive. And but there's still a chance that he's going to get to play Sunday because the NFL changed the rules where now you just have to, if you're asymptomatic, you just have to quarantine for 5 days. So I think as long as he don't have any symptoms or anything, it sounds like he's going to be able to play Sunday, which would be a big plus for the Colts, being that they're right in the middle of a playoff push. Right now, Colts are the fifth seed in the AFC. They need Tennessee to lose a game, and we'd have to win out for us to catch Tennessee to win our division because Tennessee owns the tiebreaker. But we need to win. Both these games just so for sure you make the playoffs and you have momentum going in. If you can win one of two, you're probably going to make the playoffs. But the Colts basically they control their own destiny. If they win out, they're going to make the playoffs. If you lose one, I still think you have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs. But if you lose both these, you're probably not. And how are the Colts going to look if they don't have Wentz Wentz this Sunday, and Ellinger starts? It's hard to say because we really didn't get to see a whole lot of Ellinger in the preseason and stuff. So from from reports I heard, a lot of people said Ellinger has looked good in practice. But I think the only time we saw Ellinger throw a ball was an interception to seal the game when Wentz got hurt when he broke both. I said broke both his ankles, but sprained both his ankles. So is Ellinger going to be competent enough for the Colts to beat the Raiders? I think he could be because if we can get a run, if Jonathan Taylor we can get Jonathan Taylor going, running the ball. We're not going to need Ellinger to be a hero. All he has to do is manage the game and don't turn the ball over. Don't make big mistakes. If he can just do that, we will be fine. Hand that ball off to Taylor. Let Taylor your MVP carry you. He's carried this most of the season. Don't get me wrong. Wentz hasn't played bad at all. Wentz has had a good year, but our run game is a big reason why Wentz has had a good year. And so if we can get a run game going, I don't think it'll. I still think Colts will be all right and have a decent chance of beating the Raiders. But if you go by the spread and you watch a lot of times if you watch the sport book, you can kind of tell what's going on. Yesterday, when it was announced Wentz was going on the COVID list, Colts went from 7.5-point favorites to 3-point favorites. Then the NFL changed the rule, and it came out that you only had to do the 5 days and that stuff. And now, I think they have the Colts back up to 6-point favorites, if I remember right. I'm loading it up so I can check, but I'm pretty sure the Colts are 6-point favorites now. So what that tells me is that they think there's a good chance Carson Wentz is going to play, or the bookies wouldn't be raising it like that. Let me see what it's back at. It's at 6.5. So that it was at 7.5, dropped down to 3.5 when they announced it. Wentz was on the COVID list. Now it's back up to 6.5 after the NFL changed the rule. I think that me personally, I think Wentz is going to play, and I think the sports books think there's a real high chance that he's going to play, or that spread went back up to 6.5. But like I said, even if he don't play, I think the Colts could still beat the Raiders. Like I said, Raiders' run defense isn't that good. Run the ball, get a lead, defense create a couple turnovers, and I think we can win the game. But hopefully Wentz is healthy first of all, and then hopefully he gets to he can play and we can get a big win. Because if we can get this win this week, I think that would about clinch us a playoff spot. Then we finish the season off with Jacksonville in a game that could mean something or could not mean anything. Could mean that we could have a chance to win the division, depending on what happens with Tennessee this weekend in their game. Tennessee has to lose for the Colts to have a chance to win the division, though. But the Colts can control their own destiny as of making the playoffs, but not with the division. John Madden passes away yesterday at the age of 85. Said it was an unexpected death, so I'm not sure exactly. I mean, when you're 85 years old, could have been, it could be a number of things. He was so beloved and accomplished that when you talk about his accomplishments, nobody even mentions that he was a Super Bowl winning championship coach. He's the winningest coach in football, just barely ahead of highest winning percentage in football, barely ahead of Lombardi. He had a record of 103, 32-7 as head coach of the Raiders, won a Super Bowl, and then he went from there and done 30 years as a analyst, and was great on commentary. And then EA Sports approaches him about endorsing a video game, and he gets into that, and it's one of the biggest video games ever, still growing today. And that video game has made a lot of kids NFL fans. That's how a lot of kids get introduced to the NFL's Madden. They play Madden on Madden, and they get to know the players' names and stuff, and then they start watching it on TV, and that's how a lot of football fans became fans, especially younger football fans, is from Madden. Because they play Madden, so then they learn about football, they learn about the NFL, they're learning about the players in the NFL because of playing Madden. So it's just unbelievable all the things that he had a hand in and how big Madden football became. And like I said, he became so big, the legend of John Madden and just John Madden around him, he became so big that when you talk about his accomplishments, people don't even mention that he was a Super Bowl champion coach. They talk about his winning percentage. They talk about doing the commentary and the telestrator, and they talk about Madden video game, and like I said, Madden video game is still growing. You hear a lot of people bitch about it every year, but people still buy that game like fucking crazy. I used to be a big Madden head. I don't play it as much now just because I'm busier with other stuff. Plus, the new game is a lot different than what it was back when I played it. But, yeah, I was a big Madden fan. I've played Madden for a long time. I still play it every now and then with my son and Stevie and some of the guys here. We'll get online and play each other. But don't play it like I used to. But Madden, that's one of the things that I think got my son watching football was playing the Madden video game. And then he learned players' names. He got more interested in it. Then he started paying attention to it on TV more. And it just slowly grew into where now he's a big Arizona Cardinals fan and watches football about every Sunday. NFL changed their COVID rules. Now you only have to isolate for 5 days if you test positive, if you're asymptomatic and aren't feeling any worse, don't have any worse symptoms. I know they're doing it because they need players. There's so many players are testing positive, but most of them are asymptomatic guys that feel fine and are testing positive. So now they're going to let them guys sit out 5 days and get back in, which, like I said, could work in the favor of the Indianapolis Colts with Carson Wentz this weekend. You already saw quite a few teams take players come off their COVID list today. So, and I think I just saw NHL is doing the same thing. They're going to 5 days because that's what the CDC is recommending now is 5 days. I think if you're vaccinated, a 5 day self quarantine. If you test positive or been exposed to it, but so NHL is getting ready to do it. You probably see NBA follow suit as well. NBA is there's been more players signing 10-day contracts in the NBA so far this season than of a team where they don't have to forfeit or games get canceled. I know like the Bulls have like 5 or 6 guys I think out for tonight's game. It's just COVID is running wild right now on all the sports. This weekend we get the college football semifinals. Michigan and Georgia is Friday at 7:30. Georgia's 7.5-point favorites in that game. I think that's going to be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. I think Michigan's going to make it. I think it's going to be a good game. Probably going to come down. I say I think it's going to be a one possession game. I don't think Georgia's going to just go in there and blow Michigan out like a lot of people are thinking. And I honestly don't think Alabama's going to blow Cincinnati out. I'm not saying that Cincinnati's going to beat Alabama, but I think it's going to be a lot better game than what everybody's expecting. Everybody's expecting just for Alabama just to roll over Cincinnati, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cincinnati's a lot better football team than what people want to give them credit for just because they're in your non-power 5 or whatever you want to call it. And I guess that's okay if that's how you think you need to be, but I think Cincinnati has a chance of beating Alabama. I think Michigan's going to beat Georgia, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say that Cincinnati's going to beat Alabama because it would be an upset, big upset. But I think it's going to be a lot closer game than what people are giving it credit for. I mean, they got Alabama as 13.5-point favorites. I think this is going to be a one-possession game. I think both these games are going to be one-possession games. I think Cincinnati and Alabama at 3:30 on Friday is going to be a one-possession game. They have as a 13.5-point. Alabama is 13.5-point favorites, and over/under for that game's at 57. And then you have Michigan and Georgia. That's going to be a heck of a game. I think Michigan's going to win that game. I think Georgia's they're a good team. We'll see how their defense plays, but I think Michigan's going to keep it close and win it. Come up with a big play at the end to win that game. Let's take a look ahead at some NFL games for this weekend. And in NFL this weekend's kind of hard because so many players are out on the COVID list for the health and safety protocols. But yeah, let's take a look at the NFL here. First game is the Colts. Raiders at the Colts. Colts are 6.5-point favorites. Like I said, them Colts being 6.5-point favorites makes me think that Carson Wentz is going to play this weekend. Over/under for this game is at 44.5. I lean toward the over the 44.5, and I like the Colts to win that game. Giants at the Bears. Bears are 6-point favorites. Over/under for this game is 37.5. Giants it's hard. I tried to back the Giants last week, and I just can't back them again. But I also can't lay 6 points with the Bears either. I do think that's going to be under the 37.5. Tampa Bay Bucks at the New York Jets. Tampa Bay is 13-point favorites on the road. Over/under for that game is 45.5. I like the Bucks in that game. Jets are just a bad football team right now. Falcons at the Bills. Bills are 14.5-point favorites. Over/unders at 44.5. I like the Bills in that game, but at 14, I think 14.5 is too many points. Eagles at the Washington football team. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Their over/under for that game is at 46. A lot of it depends on who's quarterback for Washington. For me, Washington did not play well at all against Dallas this last game. The Eagles didn't really impress me. They pulled away from the Detroit at the end. I lean toward the Washington football team at the plus 3.5. I'd get it now while you can get the hook. because I could see that going down to 3. And I like the under the 46 in that game. Chiefs at Bengals. I'm looking forward to this game this weekend. They have the Chiefs as 5.5-point favorites on the road. Over-unders at 49.5. I like the over the 49.5. On the side, I like the Bengals, but man, 5.5. I think it's gonna be a close game. I lean toward the Bengals at the plus 5.5. Next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New England Patriots. The Patriots are 15.5-point favorites. Over-under for this game is at 41.5. I like the Patriots to win this game, but 15.5 points is just too many points to give up, especially when the Patriots have an offense. It's not like it's a high-powered offense that scores at will. Mac Jones coming off probably one of his worst performances of the season. I would lean toward maybe the under the 41.5. You have the Dolphins at the Titans. Dolphins are on a 7-game win streak. Have got themselves right back in playoff contention. Titans are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Over-unders at 40.5. This is going to be a good game. I'd like to see the Dolphins win just because it does help the Colts, but I just haven't been sold. The Dolphins have gotten kind of lucky. I'm not going to say lucky, but they've gotten to play some backup quarterbacks and some stuff like that. So I'm going to go. I lean toward Tennessee at the minus 3.5, but I do like the over the 40.5 in this game. Rams at the Ravens. Ravens have been struggling. Rams are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Minus 190 or over under for this game's at 46.5. Depends on who quarterback is. If Huntley or Lamar Jackson's back there, then I'd maybe lean toward the Ravens just because they're at home. But especially without Lamar Jackson, I like the Rams here. I would like it better at 3 than 3.5. Like to get away from that hook. Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers are 6-point favorites on the road. Over under 45.5. Chargers have not looked good. Did not look good over the weekend. But the Broncos are so hit and miss as well. This should be a good game, though. It's a division game. Should be a real good game. I lean toward the Chargers, but I don't know about the 6 points. I like the over the 45.5. Texans at 49ers. 49ers are 12.5-point favorites. Texans just won a game where they were like 13.5-point underdogs a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, the Texans are going to battle. I think the 49ers will be a little too much for them, but 12.5 is just too high of a number to lay. I like the over the 44.5 in that game. Cardinals at Cowboys. Excuse me. Cardinals are 5.5-point favorites. Or Cowboys are 5.5-point favorites. Over under for this game is 51.5. I like the Cardinals in this game at the plus 5.5. I think this is going to be a one-possession game. Probably going to be decided by a field goal. And I like the Cardinals. Panthers at the Saints. Saints are 6.5-point favorites at home. So that must mean that either Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian's coming back, and that book isn't starting again. I know the Panthers have been struggling, though, as well. I like the under the 38.5 in this game. Lions at the Seahawks. Seahawks are 7-point favorites. It's a game I'll probably stay away from. I like the over the 42.5, though. Vikings and Packers. Packers are 6.5-point favorites. I think the Packers win this game. I think it's going to be a close game, though. So what I like is the over the 47.5. And Monday Night Football, Browns at the Steelers. Browns are 3-point favorites on the road. Steelers the over-unders at 41. I like the over the 41. And I like the Steelers +3. All right. Before we get out of here for today, well, talk about the Cowboys for a minute. Are the Cowboys Super Bowl contenders? I don't believe so. Yes, they've looked better the last couple of games, but look who they have played against. They played against a Washington team that was depleted with some injuries. They've played against the Giants. They haven't had a good performance against a team that would be in the playoffs as of now. I want to see what they look like this weekend against Arizona. Then I will tell you if I think they might be in a contender. They're going to make the playoffs, but I see them being one and done in the playoffs. That's just the way I see the Cowboys this year. All right, my picks for today were college football, Maryland money line, Clemson money line, Indiana Pacers -3, the Clippers +6, the Grizzlies -6, the Heat +5, and the Portland Trailblazers +7. That was the picks I gave out today on Easy Money, a sports betting show. You can find those on our social media accounts at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo's Sports Room. Also, go check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzo'S Sports /merch. We have a lot of different things at our merch store. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, long sleeve tees, beanies. It's getting cold outside. Get you something, keep your ears warm. Got a bunch of different stuff on there. Check it out, streamlabs.com/Gonzo'S Sports /merch. Going to have some new shirts dropping here real soon. Big shout out to Gonzo the Great for purchasing a couple of the Steve's Missing shirts today. We appreciate the support. Yes, tomorrow, or actually tonight, don't forget tonight, we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with GWR Live as pro wrestler Gavin Alexander joins us. So join us tonight for that. Tomorrow, we'll still be on the old schedule. Easy Money, a sports betting show at 11 a.m. Friday, same thing, 11 a.m. Easy Money, a sports betting show, 1 p.m. GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Starting Monday, we'll be on our new schedule. Monday through Easy Money will still be Monday through Friday. It'll just be at 1 p.m. Eastern, starting January 3rd of 2022. Also starting January 3rd of 2022, GSR Gonzo Sports Room will move from 1 o'clock to 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll still be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Everything's the same other than it's going to be in the evening time now, 7 p.m. Eastern, starting January 3rd of 2022. I want to thank everybody for your support. Hope to see you guys tonight at 7:30 for GWR Live with pro wrestler Gavin Alexander. If not, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for Easy Money, a sports betting show. If you're traveling home or you're traveling to see family, be safe. Have a great day. Peace.